Welcome back. You're still watching SA Today. Let's have a look at some African news. Authorities in Uganda say that at least 29 people died when a cruise boat site capsized in poor weather in Lake Victoria. Well, the vessel carrying close to 100 revelers was apparently overloaded when it sank. At least 60 people are missing in this latest deadly incident to affect passengers' boats on Africa's largest lake. The boat on which partygoers were drinking, dancing and listening to music was caught in a storm, causing it to sink. Rescue and repatriation teams are still on the ground trying to rescue whoever they can find. In September, more than 200 people died when a ferry capsized on Lake Victoria. Well, 12 people have been killed in a suspected militant attack in northern Mozambique, with thousands of villagers fleeing the area into neighboring Tanzania. Officials in the Cabo Delgado province say the attackers set fire to houses and used knives to kill women and children. This is the third such incident this month in Cabo Delgado, leaving 20 dead in all. Well, over the past year, militants have been active in the region, stoking unrest, just as the government in Maputo is pushing ahead with oil and gas development in the province. Well, violent protests on the Champs-Élysées continued into Saturday night after a day in which thousands in yellow high-visibility vests barricaded the famous avenue and clashed with police officers. The unauthorized demonstration was in theory organized in opposition to fuel price hikes exacerbated by government's green tax, which has focused opposition to President Emmanuel Macron's economic policy. Well, around 100,000 protesters took part in demonstrations across the country, with 8,000 in Paris. But demonstrations quickly degenerated, with protesters dislodging paving slabs to throw at police, who responded with water cannon and tear gas. By the end of the evening, fires were still burning in the middle of the street, and security forces were still trying to gain control as some more peaceful demonstrators released Chinese lanterns into the air. Well, November marks National Disability Month. We focus on people living with disabilities in rural areas. 65-year-old Nombulelo Tafeni from the Upper Village in Tsolo in the Eastern Cape battles due to her disability. Let's take a look at her story.
Nombulelo lost her mobility when she was still a child. She used crutches until they could no longer carry her body weight. Then she upgraded to a wheelchair. But in her rural village, there is no way to move around, as rural areas are not wheelchair friendly. She now has to crawl to get around.
Whether it's hot or cold or raining, I have to go outside to the toilet in the veld. I have to walk on my knees. I get stabbed with broken bottles. The tank is not big enough.
The community blames government for dragging its feet to help this woman.
Government doesn't care for the disabled. The councillors have finished their term of office without doing anything for this woman. Her situation is worse on rainy days. She gets wet while crawling. We have to leave our houses to come and assist her.
The Department of Rural Development and Agrarian Reform roped in local businesses to donate amenities and surprise Nombulelo for her 65th birthday.
If the business people can assist and see if they can do something for these poor people, that could be a very beautiful thing.
Human Settlement in the district has already committed to say on Monday they are here to do assessment to build Mamu Tafeni a proper house that is designated for her condition.
As the country wraps up Disability Awareness Month, the plight of people living with disabilities in rural areas remains a concern. Communities are also urged to make an effort and reach out to those in need. Simkita Mangunana, SABC News, Tsolo.